Ed McMahon was on the boardwalk. Was he around then?
No, but he used to stop by now and then. He was already with Johnny Carson,
Okay.
doing really big. Stop by to see Archie and Ruby and hang with the pitchmen for a while.
Right.
I ended up working the fair circuit, the Big E,
Yes.
Bloomsburg. I started making 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 a week.
Yes.
Way back 1960.
Oh my God, it's huge. Yeah.
And I went on through to the Seattle World's Fair. That's where I finally made my bankroll to get into college, go back to school. I worked the Seattle World's Fair. By then, we were selling the Vitamix.
Yes.
We went from a really terrific machine, total gap joint, total Larry.
Yes.
Vitamix back in those days didn't have a voltage regulator.
Yes.
Under the table.
Yes.
Make the machine go fast. It wouldn't go anywhere. I'm down there working in the basement, making my noon pitch. This is the big one. This is lunchtime. This is what I've been waiting for. So I do half my business on this one pitch. And I put all the food in: cabbage, carrots, celery, beets, lemon, skin, peel, seeds and all, banana without the peel, raisins, raw sugar, whole wheat, and egg with the shell. Amazing. I still remember. I haven't made a pitch in, I don't know, 20, 30. When I got out, I was pitching pans, knives.
Oh, so you did. You got out of.
When I got out of prison, I had to make a living.
Yes.
I jumped right in. I was working non-stick pans in the stamp stores.
Yeah. Okay.
Was working weekends, picking up a nice check for the 3 days. And rest of the time, I was finishing up my book, which I'd written in prison.
Yes.
And was beginning to transition my career.
Yes.
Activism to marijuana.
Yes.
Me, 30 years in prison for today, legal in more than half the country.
It's mind blowing what you went through. And you know what? Let's get to that now, because that is probably the most horrific sentence for a nonviolent crime. And again, like you said, something, especially for medical marijuana, that is so common today. And I'm trying to think of how many people are spending so much time in prison over something so ridiculous. But there's no doubt your sentence. Why? Like, let's first of all, Robert, let's go back to before that happened. You started smuggling, or started dealing, started selling. What triggered all that? How old were you? Take me through that life, because I know this was huge business. And you were, from the book, it sounded like you were listening to James Bond music all throughout your younger life as you're you stayed in the nicest hotels. You tell me about that whole life before you even got caught.
Actually, I think I was working TFAL in Wisconsin State Fair. And one of the guys in our crew also had joints of his own. In fact, I was working the TFAL with him at his joints over on the side. Luke McLeod, Full Hand Luke, one of the great pan workers of all time. Anyway, he said to me that he had been living in Florida, and since he had a couple of trucks for the t-shirt business, he had been transporting weed for a smuggler in Miami. And I think he was making $10,000 or $20,000 a truckload to Philly or New York, whatever, for this guy. And he said to me, if you can sell some, you can make a lot of money. He said, and I can make more than just being paid for transporting. And that's pretty much how I slid into the business. In the meantime, I'd gone over to Colombia to meet them and to see the setup. In the course of doing that, my partner Robbie and I went and had breakfast at the hotel. I think the second morning we were there, and a young guy comes over and he introduces himself, speaks very good English. He had lived in Detroit for a number of years, and he said, let me take you around, show you the town. We were in Barranquilla. He said, we'll take you to restaurants, and we'll have a nice time. And if it looks like we get along and we're sympathetic with each other, we can talk some business. Now, obviously, back in those days, everybody knew what that meant. The weed business was huge between Florida and Colombia.
Now, where'd you get the planes from?
You buy some with money.
You bought a plane?
Yeah, with my customers' money.
Yes.
And I was just starting to make a little at the time. And the funny follow-up to that story, we find this beautiful D-18. Now, one of the last planes made with radial engine.
Yes.
It was about an 8-seater, 8 or 10-seater. And they were beautiful old planes, and really great for the job. They could carry enough fuel to go down and back.
Did you have to stop to fuel anywhere, or you had enough fuel for the trip?
Sometimes we'd have to stop in Haiti and refuel, which was a very quick in and out kind of thing.
What about listen, I know it's all illegal. What about the laws in Haiti? Like when you got there, you didn't have to worry about anything when you were landing there? There was no.
No, here you are in a plane full of marijuana.
Yeah.
You can see it through the windows. I mean, it's piled up, these bales, these 50-pound bales.
Yes.
And when you talk to the tower, you come in, you tell them you're just transiting. You're not leaving the aircraft. You're not leaving the airfield.
Okay.
You're just transiting and you're landing for fuel. And so they'll usually direct you way out to the end of the runway or someplace out of the way. And the fuel truck is there as quick as you stop the airplane.
Yes.
And you go in your pocket and you take out $400 or $500 and you give it to the driver of the fuel truck and you go,
wow.
And you got your fingers crossed.
Yes.
Want to get arrested. The only thing about that bad is the Dominican Republic, which is right across the street. That's even worse.
Yes.
But you fuel up in Haiti, or when we would get to Colombia, the next trip we did was DC-3. And the truck would pull up under each wing, and these stake body trucks would have 8 or 10 55-gallon drums of fuel. And there'd be a guy jump up on each wing. As soon as you stop the plane, you'd open up the valves, start fueling the plane. And at the same time, there's a crew at the cargo door throwing them bales in. Now a DC-3 can hold 5,000 pounds, but you got to know how to load it.
Yes.
And if you're loading for takeoff, most of your load has to be forward, from the wings forward.